back, everybody, to the North American League of Legends Championship Series. I'm Jat, and I'm joined by Crumbs and Batoy of Team Dignitas, who just had a very impressive win over Coast. Talk about that game a bit.
That game was something that hasn't happened to us in a while.
Okay.
It's a game that, in the beginning, no action.
Yeah.
That game was very boring to watch from my perspective.
That's not usually how you guys play.
Yeah, that's not typically what happens with us. We usually have a somewhat aggressive early game in which kills happen, towers are taken, objectives are taken, but nothing happened until maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And then we actually took what we had seen as a mistake in the previous game against TSM and tried to apply it earlier, what should have been done in this game against Coast. And the game started progressively going into our favor by sticking to what we wanted to do in the first place.
And Batoy, there was a point in that game where you guys started just roaming down towards the bottom lane again and again and just kind of punishing Coast for their positioning. How was the Sona crescendos keyed into your initiation plans?
We usually just plan on forcing them in a bad spot and just flashing on them on a turret, but that game we rotated lanes so well, mostly due to them just AFKing in a lane or something. It was mostly them being out more so than us playing it better. Okay. But they actually initiated this time over me, so mine was like the backup for once. What do you prefer? Do you prefer to initiate or do you prefer to back up with I just want to flash into them all the time, so I was really sad when they did it for once.
And you guys managed to go 2-0 this week. How do you think that positions you guys for Super Week?
Super Week, I think we play 4 games, and we play even Cloud9, which is obviously one of the strongest team right now. Yeah. But I think we're looking confident. Personally, I feel like we can easily come out with a 4-0 in Super Week, no matter what teams we're playing against, because we also have 2 weeks of practice to play whatever we want. Nobody's going to see this. Nobody will have a clue what we're going to be playing. So anything can happen, and I think that we're on an upswing right now. Yeah. And that could easily make us win. Yeah, because you guys are tied for 3rd place with TSM and COG. It's actually the 5-game Super Week that you guys have had a lot of success in the past. What about Super Week preparation? Batoy, even, I heard you said you don't necessarily like Super Week, but you guys have success going into them. How do you prepare for a Super Week compared to a regular one?
Well, we have a lot more time to practice, a lot more unorthodox champions that we like. So we always have that upper hand because we're just always known as a team that does like a bunch of random weird stuff that normally usually shouldn't work. Yeah. So we have that going for us, and we have a lot more time to watch replays, see how people play, and then just prepare against it and hopefully win.
All right, thank you very much, Batoy and Crumbs. Congratulations on your 2-0 today, and best of luck as we head into Super Week for the finale of the season before the playoffs. We still have a bit more action coming up to the day. We're going to get some plays going down on the Telestrator with Kobe.
All right, thank you, Jat. I do have a clip for you today from the CLG versus TSM match, because those are always exciting. And this one really kind of tells the story of a classic CLG versus TSM matchup. Very back and forth gank that happens very early in the game. So let's start this out here. We've got a ping on Jace already from CLG. So they know that Jace has already roamed down the river, and they've already notified their mid lane that there's going to be a gank coming in. Yet they still can't react to this because of the long engage of Zach, followed up by Jace's damage. So let's get this one started out here, and we can see Reggie's going to start off by getting the damage onto Link. Doesn't even land a slow, but it doesn't matter. Odd1 and Dyrus just go all in. So let's pause here. They were able to pick up the kill. Link, he died even though they knew that they were coming down with the gank. But look, this little squiggle up here is a teleport coming in from Nien. So now he's going to teleport in. It's a little bit late since they've already lost Link, but he's going to try and make the best of a bad situation here. Let's roll out the rest at 50% speed, and you can see it actually go down. He's pretty strong because he just finished that Sunfire Cape, so he's confident battling 2 melee people because he's burning both of them down at the same time. Reggie does a good job waiting around the side here, and Nien, looking to go for the burst combo, he finally gets silenced right here. Pause it here. You can't actually flash while you're silenced, so as soon as we see this silence wear off, he's going to flash right over the side. He's in escape mode right now. He's trying to just get out of there, and that's what he's thinking. Let's roll this through again, 50% speed. There he goes, flash. Okay, pause again. At this point, Odd1 flashes over right after him. So Nien knows, I have to do something. I've got 2 choices. I can either run away with my ultimate, I'll be free. I can live to fight another day. Or I can guess and go for a blind ulti on Dyrus to finish off the kill that I started. Nien obviously makes the bloodthirsty choice, going for Dyrus. So he tries to finish this one off. Let's roll out the rest, and we can see that he does hit the blind ult into the bush, finishing off Dyrus with the combo, and he goes down. But the most important part of that is that Nien manned up, and he went for the kill. That's really the lesson that we're bringing today, because CLG are 4-0 against TSM, and that's one of the reasons why. Now we're going to send it back over to the guys at the desk.
Thanks very much, Kobe. And of course, now it's time to name our most valuable player of the week. For helping his team go 3-0, the MVP goes to Vulcan's jungler, Xmithy.
Yeah, he got 13 kills, 2 deaths, and 25 assists, but that's not the reason they were so successful. He's had a lot of sneaky initiations as Eve in their wins versus Curse and Velocity, and then as Jarvan, he actually had 100% kill participation and didn't die in their win over COG. Xmithy doesn't necessarily get that much credit for Vulcan because everyone talks about their tremendous solo lane play, but you can't have great solo lane play without a jungler that has a lot of presence.
It's kind of like the support for the AD carry.
Yeah, the jungler supports the lanes.
Yeah, exactly. So unsung hero, but congratulations, Xmithy. Definitely an amazing week from you. So, guys, with today's today's 6 games in our match history, let's take a look at the standings heading into the final week of the summer. Cloud9 is first and will stay in first for the rest of the split. They're guaranteed that top spot, and Xmithy and Vulcan are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, sitting so far in second place with a 4-game lead.
And there's a 3-way tie for third between COG, Dignitas, and TSM, while Curse and Coast are tied for 6th. Then rounding out the standings, we will have Velocity, who's still barely trying to keep their playoff hopes alive.
And with only 2 playoff spots locked down, that means there are still 6 LCS teams fighting to make it to the regional playoffs at PAX. And while the top 5 teams from PAX will automatically qualify for the Season 4 Spring Split, the other 3 squads will be sent to the promotion tournament later this year. But again, there were a few changes to the format since Cloud9 and Velocity qualified for the LCS in the Summer's tournament.
Yeah, the first change, as we mentioned yesterday as well, is that only 3 of the LCS Summer Split teams will be relegated instead of the 4 that we had after the Spring Split. The teams that finish 7th and 8th are automatically dropped into the promotion tournament, where they'll be joined by the team that finishes 6th in the regional playoffs at PAX. The second big change is that the 3 LCS teams that take part in the promotion tournament will get to pick which of the 3 challenger teams that they want to face. The 6th place LCS team will get to pick first, followed by 7th, and then the 8th place squad. So that's a big change.
Yeah, so it's going to help them make sure that these guys play who they want and you know, kind of have the right to play for their own careers here. So guys, the LCS continues Saturday with 6 more matches over in Europe, beginning with Gambit versus Evil Geniuses, followed by SK taking on Alternate, and then Lemon Dogs facing Meet Your Makers.
After that, Fnatic battles Ninjas in Pajamas, followed by Team Alternate squaring off against Meet Your Makers. Closing out the day, it's the Lemon Dogs versus SK. Week 8 of the EU LCS kicks off Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. Central European Time.
And the North American LCS will be back in 2 weeks with 3 supersized days of action. That starts Wednesday, August 14th with 6 incredible games.
Up first, COG takes on Coast, then it's Dignitas versus Curse, and Velocity battling TSM.
After that, Vulcan takes on Cloud9, Team Solomid's back in action against Coast, and closing out the day is a Dignitas battle against Vulcan.
That all starts Wednesday, August 14th at 1 p.m. Pacific and 10 p.m. Central European Time.
Now remember, if you missed any of today's action, head over to lolesports.com, click on schedule in the top corner, and hit the match details button below the games you want to watch.
Plus, you can head over to twitch.tv/wellplayed to watch the PAX promotion tournament qualifier right now.
Yeah, and it's going to be Malphus X and Wombat Kha'Zix. If you're a fan of them, come on and tune in.
Go for it.
Go for it, guys. And of course, that does it for us here at Week 8 in the North American LCS. So for myself, Jat, Kobe, and the entire live broadcast crew, GG, and thanks for watching.
Oh,
look at where
Jackie takes the wrong road.
He finds Jackie, stuns him up. Here comes High and says goodbye. Still kiting. I'm a cutie pie. 1 hit to go. Survives and gets it. Special doesn't land the play either. Nien catches 3 in the ultimate. 1 kill brought back. Dyrus low. They find another. Nice shot. Oh, the Q lands. Cuban could drop low in health. That Nation goes into the fight and gets exploded right there.
Ash has flash.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Let's go, baby!